What are the biggest mistakes that you see men make with their nutrition, especially when they hit their 30s and 40s?
There is a rat race. Everyone's working to get a better life. It's about 95% of India doesn't have time to focus on nutrition. Breakfast time, carbohydrates. Lunchtime, carbohydrates. Dinner time, carbohydrates. I have this philosophy. If you're going to put something into your body, is it worth entering your body?
When as teenagers, they always see like the morning hardness. And in your experience, people who come to see you, you see it goes down with age.
So a lot of people want that teenage kind of thing. I can go 2 or 3 times a night. But India, I'm telling you, if you've got a pot belly, start losing it because your bedroom performance goes through the roof.
What about supplements like ashwagandha and maca root?
I recently tested one supplement for heavy metals and this was a good brand. High content of in it.
I mean, obviously, Ryan Fernando needs no introduction. Everybody in this country knows you. Celebrity nutritionist. But actually, you're even Aam Aadmi nutritionist because my first ever nutrition coach was you,
Same.
Ryan. Yeah, for Rishabh also. And I think after like obviously doing plans with you, it's very hard to go to anybody else.
Let's talk about the biggest mistakes and I'm sure you work with a lot of clients, you personally and your team put together. What are the biggest mistakes that you see men make with their nutrition, especially when they hit their 30s and 40s?
So Rishabh, I love what you're doing with training and the videos you put out there, right? So we have 2 types of India. One type which says, I'm going to take care of my health. We call this the vanity, V-A-I-N, the vain clients. And then you have the pain clients, P-A-I-N. The pain are people who will get the early onset of pre-diabetes, they'll get the pot belly, they'll get pigmentation, hair will start thinning, balding with no genetic relationship of the hair loss. It's all diet.
Wow.
So the first mistake that is happening today is that there is a rat race. Everyone's working to get a better life. So you work hard, you party hard, you watch TV and this podcast and video games very hard. But food is relegated to the very low end. So you will see a person turning up in a high-end SUV eating a 10 rupee dosa plate, right? Maybe dosa is not available at 10 rupees, but I have this philosophy. If you're going to put something into your body, is it worth entering your body?
Yeah.
So Rishabh, you will buy a very good pair of weight training shoes. Your attire in the gym will be matching that. But is your diet matching your philosophy of life? So that 2 parts of India, the guy that works out is maybe doing something correct. And there are mistakes over there. I'll tell you what are those mistakes. But the rest of India, which is about 95% of India, doesn't have time to focus on nutrition. They're thinking, okay, if I put food in my body, my belly is full.
That's enough.
I'm done. And therefore they are slaves to their taste bud. The decision making is not, I have learned about nutrition. I know about nutrition. I know how much of macros are there in my diet. I know what is the portion. I know what is my fat. I know what is my muscle percentage. People don't know any of this. Does it taste good? How quickly did it come to my house? How quickly can I eat it? And do I feel satiated? So calorie dense, nutritionally shallow.
Yeah. So I think what I understand is the biggest mistake is prioritization. People are not really prioritizing good nutrition.
Yes.
Which has an impact on pretty much everything else.
So Rishabh, I have this very famous line which I'm hammering in every place that I go to. Your body is the most expensive real estate you will ever own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can memorize that and start saying it every morning, you will start the seismic shift to saying, okay, not only what I put on my body, but what I put into my body has relevance. And I think if a person reaches that level of wealth in their brain, anyone can be rich today in today's world, but people are not wealthy up here. So when you're wealthy up here, you will realize you don't need to buy that Louis Vuitton or Gucci, or you don't need that Nike shoe to make you the next level. You need the wealth in your brain to tell you what's the perfect philosophy of life that you need to have. And eating correctly is one of the things.
In fact, studies show that, men in general in India, they consume too few vegetables. Their diet is loaded with refined carbs, and they're deficient in vitamin D and vitamin B's and things like that. Is there anything that they can do with just some minor changes that they can make?
Absolutely. So, first, there is an assumption that I'm eating correct because my stomach is full. But in our city of Bangalore, go anywhere, go to any restaurant. What are people ordering? They are ordering rice or chapati, which is rice, carbohydrate, chapati, carbohydrate. So you're getting your carbs. Our diet is predominantly ultra processed. Even an idli or a fried rice, you're processing it to a level where you're adding more, which is raising your sugar levels. So people assume when my stomach is full, why do I need vegetables?
Exactly.
Now, what is the philosophy of vegetable? All vegetables will have micronutrients in it, right? So you need to eat 5 to 10 servings of fruits or vegetables per day. So like one carrot is a serving, one beetroot is a serving, one banana is a serving, one orange is a serving. But what do? Breakfast time, carbohydrates. Lunchtime, carbohydrates. Dinner time, carbohydrates. And these carbs block out around 60 to 80% of your stomach. Actually, that was okay with our ancestors because your great-grandfather and my great-grandfather walked 20 kilometers a day.
Exactly.
Today, I have to tell people on an exercise variable, boss, please do 10 kilometers, 10,000 steps. No, how can you do it? I do 1 hour of walking. 1 hour of walking is 5.5 kilometers.
Yeah.
So we are not expending enough, but our carbohydrate, which our grandfathers ate for physical work, was this much. And our grandfathers ate maybe this much of pulses, protein, and this much of sabzi. What we need to do, because we are desk jockeys, we need to take vegetables to this level. And there is research showing that just 90 days of changing your diet. I've seen this in my own co-nutrition clinics. 90 days of changing the diet, adding a few vegetables. Chalo, TK, you don't like saag, you don't like palak. You'll choose one vegetable that you like. Start bringing that into your life 3 times a week. Choose another vegetable, bring it 3 times a week into your life. So, if people bring in vegetables, I think you don't need to do a Ryan Fernando diet plan. Start with a change in vegetable. Now, these deficiencies that are existing, it is twofold. One is it's man-made. One, it is your ancestor-made. What is ancestor-made? Ancestor-made is you are born in a community, you tend to get married in that community. So things like anemia, deficiency of iron or low hemoglobin, or B12. In the vegetarian population, they don't know that the B12 comes only from the non-veg or fermented foods. But you and I are eating foods that are not even fermented in our own home. My granny would make the chapati maav or dosa maav and keep it the previous night and make it up to 2 days later. And that thing would be literally overflowing, or that she would not keep that chapati dough back in the fridge. My servant will keep it in the fridge. So where's the fermentation? Where is the bacteria that will naturally produce the B12 or the B complexes? And the final point, which is maybe we need better agricultural and farming practices from a nutritive point of view. We are producing based on yield. So we're able to feed the 1.3 billion population. But once you start producing everything, I'll give you a simple example, and it's very funny. Toilet paper, you keep it in your house. When I was younger, I didn't have so much of money. So I'd buy very cheap toilet paper, right? And it would break, or it would not be nice and disintegrate, and you'd get irritated. Now, when I buy toilet paper, what is my question? What is the ply of the toilet paper? How good is the strength? Will it pollute the environment?
Yeah.
Does it have any chemicals in it? Is it harsh on the skin? In agriculture, we need the government to help us get to that level, because I believe the food is what is going to cure our diabetes, hypertension, heart attack, cancer. So the vegetables can get better, and this is where Sadhguru's running his mission on the soil. The soil is being depleted of the vitamins and the minerals. And therefore, you're getting a vegetable, you're getting a palak, you're getting a beetroot, but the beetroot that my granny ate had higher betalains, which is something that helps the liver work better as compared to the beetroot I am eating today. So whilst people will also start eating vegetables, the vegetable may not be worthy to sustain you sufficiently. Hence, agricultural practices also have to change.
So, how does male metabolism differ from female? I mean, we're talking about, what people should eat, right, in terms of veggies and carbs and protein. But the metabolism also plays an important role in what we put in and how we metabolize the food. So, is there like big difference between?
There is a massive difference in terms of understanding, because obviously I can't, when people come for a diet plan in my clinic, the husband and wife take a nutrition plan. We can't prepare two separate dishes for the husband and for the wife.
Fair.
So first question to understand is, what is metabolism?
Yeah.
Metabolism is like, say you're a car. So Shwe, you're a lady, I'm a man. My car has an engine. Your car also has an engine.
Yes.
What are those engines? Your muscle. One of the muscle is the heart,
Yes.
but all of the skeletal muscle is there. Now these require energy for functioning.
Correct.
Because of the exchange of energy, you have something called as metabolism. So the woman's system has a lower engine rating, right? So a woman doesn't need to eat as much as a man. The man needs to eat more because his engines are larger. So there is a difference. And this difference is because of the hormones.
Fair.
Hormones are like these chavis that, you go open, the man will open 4-5 metabolic hormones. The woman will open 10-20 hormones. It's different. But the energy requirements differ. So when I go into the energy requirements, I'm like, okay, this lady, what should I give her? So she requires the nutrition which will sustain her for good hormonal function, because she has her menstruation cycle in her reproductive years.
Yes.
So that period of, let's say, a 10-year-old girl who started on a menstruation to, let's say, a 55-year-old woman, the nutrition differs significantly. For boys and men, not much. It's based on body weight and their muscle percentage. Where it differs truly is how much work either gender does. So Shwe, you could be a common person in a field and require 2,500 to 3,000 calories a day as a woman, or you could be working in a bank and require only 1,400 calories a day. The same weight, the same age, but two different lifestyles, two different jobs. So working activates your metabolism further.
Correct.
For the women, we look at blood tests. Why? 60% of India is deemed to be having a anemia, which is an iron deficiency. So for people to understand out there, iron is found in hemoglobin. Okay, so the heme molecule is an iron molecule, and you can imagine it has a 4-prong like this. So heme in Greek means iron, globin is protein. So there's a protein here. Imagine this is the protein, and these 4 fingers are the heme. Now what attaches to the heme is oxygen. So you take a deep breath, oxygen goes and attaches. Now women deficient in hemoglobin have lesser oxygen going to their body, which is why a lot of women during their menstruation or generally say, I feel fatigued, I feel tired. One classical symptom of low iron is insomnia. You don't sleep well, body pain, muscle ache, a lack of memory. So all of these things affect 60% of the population. Women are known to be the stronger sex and they bear this silently. All can be fixed with a simple blood test and understand what are the foods that need to be fed for this sort of metabolism. And again, you'll have the luteal phase, you'll have the follicular phase. So women need to eat a little different in the first 14 days of her cycle and a little different from the next 14 to 28 days of cycles. But all of this is very advanced nutrition with, let's say, a Qua nutrition clinic. Basics is what a woman should understand is keep her carbs complex, keep her protein high. Vegetables are our best friend. And I would like to advise India that all the girls today are having too much tea and coffee because of this deficiency of iron in the blood. So they feel tired. So they have copious amounts of caffeine to sustain them in a fast-paced lifestyle because they want to be a super mom and they also want to be a super efficient colleague at work. Plus they want to run their houses and they want to live a very fast-paced lifestyle. So inside you're burning out. And therefore, the body releases more stress hormones, which cause you to store more fat. So it's very interesting that the newer generation of women are getting larger in size because of micronutrient deficiencies that can be found in teenage levels in girls. So that's something that is there. With regards to the men, it's more about protein because they require more protein for sustaining the muscle mass. Unfortunately, even myself as a nutritionist, I really check exactly how much of protein I'm getting in the day. Of course, when I'm an athlete, when I'm like Rishabh or you're going in for a competition or you have to look at a certain physique, you need to know how many grams of protein you're taking a day. That calculation varies from an arm aadmi to a fitness trainer to an Olympic superstar to a bodybuilder. What is it? 0.8 to 1, 1 to 1.2 grams per kg body weight, 1.5 grams per kg body weight. And the final question everyone asks me is, do we need more protein? I think it's like saying, do we need better air in our country? Right? So the question is, yes, we do. But in this room and in this city of Bangalore where we are, thankfully, so far the AQI is quite okay.
Yeah.
So it's good. So the same thing goes for protein. Individual to individual, situation to situation, the requirement of protein needs to be planned. The problem in today's day and age is that food touches the soul before it touches the body. So people want to eat to feel fulfilled.
Yeah.
And the protein, carbs, and fats are the least of their bother unless there's an occupational hazard to it, which is you're in the business of training. A film star is in the business of acting. A sports person is in the business of gaining medals. They will look at food because they understood the journey. The Aam Aadmi has understood it, but is not willing to weigh the currency or pay the currency that will say, hey, I'm going to take care of my nutrition and diet. So metabolism is the starting point for a man and woman to determine. And it's so simple to do. All you have to do is go onto the internet, type in your height, type in your weight, and ask a metabolic calculator approximately how many calories do I need in a day? Because it'll ask you, what sort of work do you do? It'll tell you, you need so many calories. Calories is a unit of energy. And straight, the easiest thing, which is when you take your car, you take it out. Oh, today I have to go to Mysore, 180 kilometers away. My car gives me 10 kilometers later. I need 18 liters of fuel, but I need to come back. So 18 plus 18, you fill that much. You fill less, you fill 9 liters of fuel, you stop halfway on the road. That's what people are doing today. Oh, I've got some extra petrol tanks. Let me not eat.
Yeah.
That is the biggest sin. Because your body says, boss, you are not giving me food. Famine condition. We have been living, the human genetics has been around for 200,000 years. What does it happen when there's no food? Oh, it's famine condition. You know what? I'll store everything as fat because famine is going to be there for so long. So now this person is becoming fatter.
And while you said that people are not taking care of protein, and it's like people like athletes and coaches who just start prioritizing protein and good nutrition. But what also happens is when we start prioritizing good nutrition, it almost becomes second nature. Now, let's say at this point in my career, I may not need to look a certain way, but I cannot imagine eating less protein because that's how my system has been wired for last many years.
You've developed a habit.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Habit. Exactly.
So, the thing about that, Rishabh, is we have always taught to eat with love and culture, which is your mom has taught you, your dadima has taught you, your nani has taught you how to eat. So suddenly you brought science into your life as an occupation.
Correct.
That has changed your behavior. That is why we tell people you need a personal trainer. Everyone knows how to exercise. Ek, do, teen, ek, do, teen. Everyone learned that in PT school. But when you work out with a trainer, you get a system. You practice that system for 270 days. People say 21 days. Sorry. If you look at this study, 21 days were the diligent people, 270 days were the lazy people. So I tell everyone it takes 270 days to make a habit. Yeah. You do nutrition for 270 days, you do training for 270 days, you sleep well for 270 days, it becomes a new habit.
You will be a different person.
Yes. Or you get a movie director to sign you up for a movie role and you will change everything.
You'll go all out. Unless you're getting like paid loads of money, it'll take 270 days.
But I've done this experiment with few family members and I've actually told them for every kg of weight you lose, I'll give you 20,000 rupees. It's worked.
Wow.
You're really making too much money.
No, not that way, but you just want to figure out that you love people so much that you want them to live around with you for that period of time, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the grab or allure of Okay, I'm being paid to do this like a film star, or pain sets in, acidity, hypertension. Today, people are walking into my consultation clinics at the age of 28 to 32 with acidity, with pre-diabetes. The good news is they're testing themselves out.
Yeah.
So they're finding it early. But there are people who are walking in at 45, 50 and they have had a decade of acidity popping pills.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're not getting it, that it's in their diet. I don't know why they are saying, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't know why they're going for medicine, which is a temporary band-aid. Intellectual people are doing this.
Yeah.
People who watch podcasts are highly intellectual.
Yeah, I mean, they want to consume good.
Correct, but they still give me the same excuse when they walk into the clinic. It's like, can I reverse this condition? But how long have you had the condition? 1, 2 years? No problem. Can reverse. 20 years you've had the condition?
You've done nothing about it.
Yeah.
You're married to the condition.
Okay. So when we generally talk about nutrition, and I'm right now talking majorly about men, we'll probably be concerned about aesthetics, how we look, get to a certain body fat percentage, or maybe also, taking care of things like acidity or any other things that may lead to diseases. But in your opinion and your experience, how closely is nutrition linked to sexual health in men?
Very good question. I like to tell a story. So when the pandemic hit, there was this documentary that came out on Netflix called Game Changers. You probably watched it.
Yes.
I told everyone to watch it. So they did an experiment, and the documentary talked about, they took this group of athletes and put them onto a vegan diet, right? And they saw that they put a ring on the penis and they found that nighttime erections had gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Now guess what? It was pandemic time. All my athletes saw this documentary. The next thing I got a call, Ryan, can we do the vegan diet? And I said, yes, let's do this. So I knew that the guys wanted better sexual performance because morning wood is a clear indication.
Correct.
And if you watch Brian Johnson, he talks about how many nighttime erections are documented, and the younger you are, the more you have, which is linked to your testosterone and erectile function, etc., etc. So we did this. Now, this is my observation with about at least 15 to 20 athletes in that period. Obviously, they're kids. They're in the age group of 15 to 25. So you can't ask them, did you have a great time? So you look at resting heart rate, and in all of them, the resting heart rate came down by 10 basis points. So they were 55, it came down to 45. Inflammation came down with the vegan diet. So I'm not advocating the vegan diet. I'm telling you what diet did to lower the heart rate. And lower heart rate is indicative of lower inflammation and lower thupper in the body. Now, Rishabh, you do CrossFit, you do high intensity activity. You meet a Rishabh with a resting heart rate of 70 and you meet a Rishabh with a resting heart rate of 50. Who can do more exercise? The 50,
Of course, yeah.
right? So in bedroom performance, sexual health will have an improvement when you change the diet. And the biggest thing, as Ryan Fernando, when I walk around and I see people a little bit fat and pudgy, especially the men, and they're dancing with a glass of whiskey and sutta and the belly is over there, and I'm like, and I'm just looking at my wife, so like, you're an evil man. Because I'm thinking this guy can't keep it up for more than 2 minutes. And nobody's asking that man, how long do you keep it up? But India, I'm telling you, if you've got a pot belly, start losing it because your bedroom performance goes through the roof. And the reason men don't lose it is they get married and their wife is happy not giving it to them more times a week. As simple as that. But you get a woman who wants more out of her husband, she's calling up Ryan Fernando and Caution saying, my husband
Fix my husband.
Fix my husband, right? So body fat obesity has been scientifically documented in N is equal to 1 in my own clinic, meaning one scientific study of one person I do in my clinic. I do all the parameters. I do blood tests. I look at genetic tests, microbiome tests, omega-3 levels. We look at all of this. We go for 6 months. We look at body age on the metabolic weighing scale. People's body ages with a 10 kg fat drop. So a 90 kg guy drops 10 kgs of body fat. His body age drops by about 15 years.
Mm.
Wow.
Now you tell a man he's 15 years younger. He thinks he's James Bond, right? So from that perspective, I want to inspire the younger generation before you get from college to your workplace. learn to work out, learn to eat healthy, because it has an impact on your reproductive years. The other thing is the quality of diet has been shown to affect the sperm. Now, today, maybe people are not thinking about procreating.
Yeah.
So it's only a function of the sexual happiness. Great, excellent. You're running a race, you're not winning any medal, right? But if you're married and as a couple you decide to have children, I always tell people, don't have an accidental pregnancy, and both of them freeze up in the counseling room. Don't have an accidental pregnancy. Means, oh, we went to Maldives and I came back, I got pregnant. Before you go to Maldives, 3 months prior,
Yeah.
the
Agree.
guy has to eat extremely clean, no smoking, no alcohol, no gutka. In fact, I tell my clients no preservatives. So the guys are like, oh, I want this protein powder. It's got artificial sweetener, artificial preservatives. No, that's going into your sperm. So you want to eat clean so that the 1 or 2 children that you have is even better. And trust me, when people start doing this, they experience a better function in the bedroom. It's a great motivator that they don't get more indisciplined. So sometimes, Risha, when you're working out with guys and all, you should just ask them, did you know your body fat percentage is directly related to your bedroom performance?
Yeah.
How so? Let's track your resting heart rate. This month, what's your resting heart rate? At the end of 90 days, has your resting heart rate gone down? You'll last longer in bed, my friend, is what you tell these boys.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying nutrition with exercise, with, a lower resting heart rate is all going to contribute to
Yes. And
improve your
health. And I'll
Yeah.
give you one more point. We say that people are dying of heart attacks today. What is heart attack? Some block happens. Means the arteries are narrowing. Blocks are happening. So, oh my God, heart is not getting blood or whatever, oxygen. Heart attack. Die. Right? You died. Sorry for being very blasé about it. You died. So, I documented a scientific incident. Somebody died. But in penile tissue, the arteries and the blood vessels are even more narrow. How many men will come up in public and say, I'm not performing? So from that perspective, nobody's talking about it. It's a silent pandemic. That is the reason why fertility clinics are mushrooming. Maybe men are able to perform, but sperm count is going through the
down. Yeah.
flow.
Yep.
Look at the pesticides, insecticides, microplastics, all are beginning to appear even in body fluids, including semen. So it's affecting the sperm, hence the fertility is going down. So you want to look at all of these parameters in terms of diet is the simplest, but the most difficult thing that a person needs to change. Simplest because you just make a few changes of removing the excess carbohydrates, high sugars, high fats.
Got it. What about supplements like ashwagandha and maca root and all of those, ginseng? Will they contribute to any improvement in sexual performance?
I'm all for them. They do help. But Shreya, I'll put it this way. When people come to train with you, right? And let's say Ryan Fernando comes to you and he's a novice and he buys the best shoes and best gloves.
Won't make a difference.
Won't make a difference.
Yeah.
Because you need to first clean up the muscles inside.
Yeah.
Right?
Foundation.
The foundation needs to be strong. The foundation in sexual performance comes with your breathing capacity, with your blood circulation, with your muscular endurance. All of these are dependent on the fuel that you give it.
Okay.
Right? And therefore, the fuel is the engine. These nutritional supplements are the nitrous boosters. So a lot of people believe that I can take this and it'll help them out. But at the end of the day, because nobody scientifically documents like we do our resting heart rate, I'm hoping that these exercise variables will start documenting even that, the performance.
Yeah.
How long was your performance? And a very funny joke is that when I got my Whoop, I was talking to Devika and I was like, babes, check this out. I'm looking for sex. It's not there on the Whoop. Sexual intercourse is not there. So, hey, Whoop, if you're listening in, Will, you need to put sexual intercourse in that. Because I want India to start tracking it so we can tell everyone why we're the largest population in the world. Because we've got amazing bedroom performance, lousy dietary habits. So maybe the ashwagandha and everything is working.
We'll tag Whoop.
Yeah.
This piece.
We'll tag.
No, but on a lighter note, a lot of people are taking supplements and I recently tested one supplement for heavy metals because the client insisted.
Hmm.
And this was a good brand. And it came back that there was lead in the supplement, which was natural because, you're taking it and growing it in different parts of the world and high content of lead in it.
Ouch.
So I'm going to be taking ashwagandha or maca root or brahmi or honey goatweed or even red ginseng. They do work as per scientific papers and extracts. So people have no knowledge, one, on which herb, the quality of the herb, the dosing of the herb, the duration you can take that herb, the time for the efficacy of that herb. So there's a lot of half-baked knowledge out there. And when I'm walking in the airports and I'm like, sir, YouTube influencer. I'm like, dude, I had a nutrition clinic before I even started influencing.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm trying to say that there are too many influencers out there giving gyan.
Yeah.
Right? And I do agree with a lot of the doctors who say that don't take supplements. But you both have come to my nutrition clinic and both of you have been given nutritional supplements because we know the level at which you train.
Hmm.
But somebody out there who's going to think, I'm going to pop ashwagandha because I've got a weekend in Goa. It's not going to work.
Not going to
So
work.
yeah, exactly. So basically, coming back to the earlier point, the morning hardness. When as teenagers, they always see like the morning hardness and things, but they start drinking alcohol and eventually bad nutrition habits, etc. But in your experience, people who come to see you or even otherwise, do you see it goes down with age? They're not seeing the kind of hardness that
Yes.
they would otherwise see.
So very interesting, Rishabh. What happens in a counseling room, I'm always sitting with a dietitian. And invariably, 90% of the dietitians are female. So if it's a male client, we'll finish the counseling. And somewhere in the counseling, I'll ask, I'm very quiet about it, like, sir, bedroom performance, any improvement? Yeah, it's okay. So male ego is like, yeah, but I'm feeling, yeah, I'm okay in bedroom and all. But the moment he says, sir, can I have 5 minutes with you? The moment he says, sir, can I have 5 minutes with
Then
you? After the counseling, I know. So I tell the dietitian, please excuse me. He'll like say, I have this problem. I'm not able to get erect. Or if I get erect, I come too fast. Or if I do get erect, I don't come too fast. Or if I get erect, I can't come a second time. So a lot of people want that teenage kind of thing. I can go 2 or 3 times a night. And this is maybe a 40 or 50-year-old. So I silently document this. And I'm like, okay, the first thing we need to remove is abdominal obesity. You remove the fat in your body, your arteries and cholesterol and all always start cleaning up. You're lighter. You got more endurance. Now, to do all of this removal of fat, what do? You do aerobic exercise. You do gym training. You do yoga. You start getting blood moving. Now, the moment you start doing that, you start eating better.
Yeah.
Because Rishabh is kicking the ass in the gym. So you like can't eat golgappa and rasgulla and vada pav and then go back to Rishabh and then you're like, that's not going to allow your oxygen to even get to the next level of workout performance. So the guy is improving. Now he comes back 3 months later to the clinic, steps on the weighing scale. Then he's like, sir, I think that supplement is working quite well. No, the supplement's not working. I just gave you omega-3 and I gave you some calcium, magnesium, maybe a protein powder because Rishabh's making him train. But Rishabh's also making him doing hip thruster in the gym. He's making him do his core, right? Muscles where he didn't have circulation of because he's a desk jockey. So when you have this combination, they will document to me privately there is an improvement in performance. Therefore, it's important to maintain your overall health for better performance.
I think this is something that we really need to start talking about in open. Men generally, like you said, below 35 and things, they're not talking about it. After that, probably they're thinking that time is limited and let me just go and speak to Ryan Fernando, fix it. But I think, sooner than later, we need to start talking about men's health. And thank you very much for everything that you just told us.